Production support for the weekly special is provided by WTIU members. Thank you.
Back to school is our theme tonight, and we have a pair of fundraising events to tell you about. We'll share an inspiring opportunity for area students and a look at a new photo exhibition at Indiana University's Grunwald Gallery. Plus, our friends from Seymour, the TOG Band, is here to perform right now on the weekly special. Hi, and welcome to the weekly special. I'm Pam Thresh.
And I'm Joe Wren.
For students across the Hoosier State, as summer rolls into fall, it can only mean one thing. It's back to school time.
So we're sharing stories about returning to the classroom tonight. And first up, for students starting out the school year, fitting in and making friends difficult, and it can be even tougher for students living with disabilities. So we start off our back to school show with a look at a student organization with the goal of bringing classmates together.
For the members of the Best Buddies Greenwood chapter, tonight is a special night for the ever-expanding club.
It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to enjoy it a lot. Get to meet new people and play games, eat pizza. It's going to be a blast.
I always put smiley faces. I love smiley faces. Tonight we are having our match party, and that's where the buddies will get to meet their peer buddies. And it's just kind of getting to know everybody, and there'll be games and food. All right, let's go pick you somewhere to sit. You ready? Best Buddies is an organization that creates one-to-one friendships with students with disabilities and students without disabilities. And it really just widens the students', friendship circle. I began Best Buddies when one of my friends was like, hey, you want to go to this meeting with me? I had no idea what it was. I was just like, sure, friendships, yeah. And I went to the meeting and I was like, this is really awesome.
By the most recent count, Best Buddies has Indiana chapters on 49 high school and 16 college campuses across the state.
It's been really interesting. I've just learned a lot more about people who have disabilities and just like how much fun they actually can to hang out with. And bowling is definitely the most popular event by all buddies. But I'm going to the movies. I've gone to the mall a few times with my buddies. Go-karting is fun. Go to some basketball games, and then there's also the chapter events such as dances or pizza parties or tie-dyeing, so pretty much anything really.
Hey, so now it's time to meet the matches. Brian.
For Brian Scholl, the buddy director for the Greenwood chapter, Best Buddies has changed his life.
So find your matches.
So wait. I told you.
Freshman year, he didn't want to go to school. He didn't want to come. Some days it was really bad. And this has given him an opportunity, like I said, to feel like he belongs and he knows people he can talk to, and if he has a problem, who he can ask for help, as before he wouldn't ask nobody.
If we didn't have Best Buddies here at school, and friendship would probably be missing.
Best Buddies is important to me. I'm now considering teaching special ed.
Yeah, that's Dylan.
So it's drastically changed my life. I have learned to see the abilities in people and not the disabilities, and it's amazing.
For a list of schools with an established Best Buddies chapter and upcoming statewide events, visit bestbuddiesindiana.org. From there, you'll also find information about intellectual and developmental disabilities and other Best Buddies programs. And now for another group that reaches out to help kids, we head over to Pam.
All right, thank you, Joe. We're with Courtney Schmidt, the new development director for Wonder Lab Museum here in Bloomington. And tell us a little bit about, for those that might not be familiar, what is Wonder Lab?
We are a local science museum. We're very hands-on, so we definitely want you to be involved when you come to the museum. We try to help people see the science in our everyday lives, the science that's all around them. And so we mostly exist for children, but we definitely, the adults that come have fun with their kids, and we have lots of grandparents that bring their grandchildren. So lots of fun for everyone. So if you haven't stopped by, we definitely encourage all of our local residents to stop by and see what we're all about.
Absolutely, and I would say I have a 4.5-year-old. I'm there about once a week with him, and we've taken him since he was younger, and we know we can take him when he gets older. You even have things for teenagers all the way down to 6 months old, and everybody in between, and it is a lot of fun. It really is, and it's a nonprofit organization, so you depend on funds being raised, right?
Absolutely. We do depend on funds being raised. We don't receive any tax revenues, which some people think we do, but we do not. So we depend on the local community for support, and also fundraisers for support.
And speaking of fundraisers, Friday night, it's the biggest fundraiser of the year for you guys, and tell us about Science Night Out.
It is. Science Night Out, like you said, is our biggest fundraiser of the year. It raises 15% of our operating budget, so it is crucial for our event to be successful. This year's theme is Salute the Silver Screen, so we're kind of hearkening back to that golden age of Hollywood. The convention center will be transformed, and they're working on it right now. It's glittering, it's beautiful, and we're very excited about this year's event.
It really is fun, and it's for the 21 and over crowd.
It is.
And this is, I believe, the third year. The first year, we have some pictures. You had a safari theme. Last year, I was at last year's, it was a pirates theme. I'm still saying ARG all the time because of it, but you guys go all out for this event. And tell us some of the things that will be happening at Science Night Out this year.
We have some hands-on science activities actually at the event, and I did bring a couple of those with me.
Why don't you show us something?
What we wanted to do was show people some of the precursors to what we know as film today. And I'm not sure how this is going to translate on camera. Probably won't. But this is called a zoetrope, and you spin it, and when you look through the slits there, it looks like a moving picture. But they're actually stationary.
That is really cool.
So that we've got those that people can get their hands on. And then this is called a thaumatrope. And this is also a trick of the eye. When you spin it fast enough,
does it look like the birds in the cage?
It looks like the birds in the cage. And these are both, I can't get it going fast enough, but these are both precursors to film. They existed, and then from that we developed the film that we have today.
I love that, and I know a lot of people help out and volunteer. A lot of sponsors go into this Science Night Out, and I will say congratulations because it is sold out this year.
It is sold out, yes. We're very excited about that.
So make sure you get your tickets ahead of time, way ahead of time next year. Tell us some of the things that will be happening on Friday evening at the event itself besides the hands-on.
Right, we have a cocktail hour, and during the cocktail hour we have a silent auction. So we've got lots of various packages that people can bid on at the silent auction. So that will be happening during the cocktail hour. After that, we have dinner, and also we have a special tribute to Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers that Arthur Murray has prepared this year. So that's going to be very exciting.
Okay, we just saw some footage from last year's pirate theme. But speaking of your dancers, we do have the Arthur Murray dancers here to do a little demonstration of what they'll be doing tomorrow night at Science Night Out. So let them take it away. That is wonderful. That is going to be such an awesome event tomorrow night or Friday night. And if people want to find out more, it is sold out. But if they want to find out about upcoming events or if they want to take their kids there, where can they go?
Absolutely. Check the website. We've got things coming up all of the time, things that will be added to the schedule. The calendar is there, wonderlab.org. And we also have our biggest fall program coming up, which is Adventures in Medicine, a real-life science festival. And at that event, we try to get children interested in careers in the medical industry. And so they will be able to talk with doctors and EMTs and things like that to show them the connection between science and those careers. So.
Right. There is something for everyone. And I know you offer programs all year round for all ages. So thank you so much for stopping by today. And we want to thank the Arthur Murray dancers too. But again, Science Night Out Friday night, sold out.
Yes.
And go to wonderlab.org for more info.
Yes.
Courtney, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's wonderful to see you.
You too.
And now we go back to Joe.
Thanks, Pam. Up next tonight, Last Folio, a photographic journey with Yuri Deutsch, is a new exhibition at Indiana University's Grunwald Gallery of Art. The story of Last Folio is documented in a short film, and the exhibition itself features haunting photographs of an abandoned Slovakian schoolhouse frozen in time when its students were taken away during the Holocaust.
We're doing a symposium called War and Memory that will feature the filmmaker Kasia Krasova and Yuri Deutsch, who are here to celebrate the opening of Last Folio, which is an exhibit of works by the photographer that he's taken in Slovakia.
Po rokoch fotenia, cestovania po Slovensku, navštevovania rozličných ľudí, som našiel niečo, čo som nevedel ani, že hľadám. In the process of making a movie, we came across some amazing people who led us towards these incredible discoveries.
By pure and utter coincidence, encountered the person who had keys to this school that had been left abandoned, forgotten.
We were photographing a couple in a little town when somebody just walked in and was very agitated. He said, please, please, I need your time. I would love to show you something. We find that there was an untouched school from 70 years ago. And when we saw the shelves full of slowly decaying books, the visual impression and historical were overwhelming. As a photographer, first you're looking at the aesthetics, then when you open some of the books and you find there's a name, you realize those were real people who perished probably in one of the camps, and chances that they're alive are zero. It's a strange feeling. I really felt that there's some magic in those books, and that magic has to be told.
The environment of the exhibit is very moving. It's very intimate. When you walk into the show, you really can examine the photographs, the textures of the pictures. The visual material becomes much more, it comes to life in a way that it wouldn't if it was just hung on a gallery wall.
Really, as much as we could, we tried to recreate the sense of the space. You'd have a sense of these objects that we found. This was more than just photographing it, and we wanted the visitors to have that sense.
As a photographer, an artist, you know that you have to present the idea to another people. So you have to focus, and if you let emotion drive you, then you don't do anything, because you will be just sitting there sobbing. So you have to be focused on, hey, I have to do this. I have to preserve it. And the only way to preserve it is through whatever I am good at, it's photography.
Last Folio, a photographic journey with Yuri Deutsch, remains on display at the Grunwald Gallery of Art through October 1st. And you can link to more by finding and liking us on Facebook, where we have links to the full cut of the short film as well as more of Yuri's photographs. And now, the TOG Band.
I was standing on the corner watching a girl drive by when a green Fairlane caught my eye. I stepped out to see what I could see, a cute little blonde staring back at me. Then she floored that Ford and tried to run over me. Yeah! She's a Fairlane blonde. 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 She's a cute little blonde that tried to run over me. Yeah! Well, time did pass and I was having fun, chasing skirts, that's number one. And that's really all that ever mattered to me. I looked up, and to my surprise, the same little girl staring in my eyes. This time she said, "Go racing with me," and I said, "Okay." 'Cause she's a Fairlane blonde. 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 She's that cute little blonde who tried to run over me. Take it, boys. She's a Fairlane blonde. 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 She's that cute little blonde that tried to run over me. Yeah. I knew if I could get her in my arms, I would win her with my charm, and I would do anything to make her mine. Little did I know that that girl was gonna love me so. Now we've been together all this time. Yeah! She's a Fairlane. She's a Fairlane blonde. 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 She's a cute little blonde that tried to run over me. She's a cute little blonde that tried to run over me. She's a cute little blonde that tried to run over me.
All right. The TOG Band, and we have Larry here with the TOG Band, which stands for?
This Old Guitar.
This Old Guitar. And tell us how the band formed to begin with.
Well, we actually had folks come in from time to time that wanted to hire musicians, and Mike and I would go out and do some shows, and as time went on, the band grew, and I got a couple of my high school buddies to join the band. So,
right.
Yeah.
And you've got a shop in Seymour,
got a shop, right? This Old Guitar Music Store in Seymour, and you can go to our website, thisoldguitarmusicstore.com.
How often do you guys play out?
We do about 25 to 30 shows a year.
And you guys have quite a following, right?
Yeah. And love coming
Family,
over here.
following, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Now, the last time I actually saw you guys perform was last fall during Oktoberfest, and tell us about that.
Well, that is just about to begin again.
Okay.
We've got all the pictures from the past Oktoberfest on the window, much like you saw when you were there. And Thursday night, September 29th, the TOG Band will kick off the Oktoberfest. And then Friday night, we have a 60s, 70s band, and Saturday as well. So if y'all want to do anything, come on over to Seymour for our Seymour annual Oktoberfest.
Absolutely. And you guys do that, I'm assuming was an original?
That was. There's actually a story behind that song. John Hill wrote that song about his, back then it was wife-to-be.
Back then,
Yeah, it was back in our high school days. And she actually drove a Fairlane and tried to run over John with that Fairlane.
Nice.
So that's how that song
Might as well write a song about it then, huh?
Yeah.
And you have another song coming up a little later on in the show?
Right, we have another song that's written by Mike Girth. We'll be doing it at the closing.
Excellent. Why don't you introduce the band for us?
Be glad to. I'll start to my far end down there, the gentleman playing harmonica, rhythm guitar, and background vocals, Steve Langlis.
Okay.
The gentleman in the middle playing lead guitar and lead vocals, Mike Girth. And to my right here is John Hill playing bass guitar, and that was his Fairlane Blonde song.
Excellent. And again, if people want to get more information.
Yeah, just go to thisoldguitarstore.com, and we have an email address there, or you can call the Seymour store at 524-8986.
All right, Larry, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Look forward to hearing the next song and coming out to Oktoberfest again.
Okay.
And for now, we're going to go back over to Joe.
Thanks, Pam. I'm joined here in the diner with Amy Wilson, wife of pro golfer Mark Wilson. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for
having me. You have a
having
special event coming up on Friday. Can you talk to us about it?
Yes, it's called Spikes for Speakers Golf Classic. I am a graduate of Indiana University, and my husband is a professional golfer on the PGA Tour. And we recently put up initial funds to create an endowment for a lectureship series for IU. It'll be free for students, faculty, staff, alumni to come and hear speakers. And we've been raising additional funds so we can start bringing speakers in as soon as possible. And we thought, why not hold a golf tournament, since that's what we know. And Indiana University is fortunate enough to have some alumni, Jeff Overton, Sean McKeel, and Steve Wheatcroft, who played golf for IU and are currently on the pro circuit. So we roped up a bunch of our friends to come out and help us out and play in the outing, and we're raising some money for the lectureship.
Sure, and this is also a chance for local golfers in the area to be paired with, on Friday, with these professional golfers. What's that going to be like?
Yeah. You know, it's pretty special. A lot of people play golf, and for those that do, it's exciting to be able to play with someone on the professional level, but the opportunity to do that, you know, is not really there. So it's a chance in a pretty intimate setting to be able to purchase a spot to play in a group with a tour pro. It's and especially, you know, Bloomington, Indiana is not a place where a lot of tour pros are coming through often, although next year the BMW Championship is going to be at Crooked Stick. So that's kind of exciting for Indiana to have the PGA Tour have a stop here in Indiana.
And all the money raised is going for this lectureship series, which I was wondering if you'd tell us a little bit more about, because it not only affects lectures here at Indiana University, but throughout the state too, right?
Well, actually, it's in conjunction with the Delta Gamma Foundation, which is the sorority that I was a member of. And Delta Gamma Foundation has created lectureships at 16 other universities around the country. And when Mark and I heard about it, we said, well, we want one of those to be at Indiana. So that's kind of how that got started. Okay. So this particular event is just to fund the Indiana University lectureship.
And what kind of speakers usually are scheduled for these type of lectures? It's
based in values and ethics, which I really like the idea of bringing in those that have excelled in their field. So one year we might partner with the union board, the next year might be the Kelley School of Business, the following year will be the School of Journalism, to bring in speakers in those different areas to talk about how did they achieve their greatness or their success while staying true to morals and values. You know, how do you make that hard decision when it's not a popular decision? You know, how do you know what your values are as you go into your industry? And I remember my time at IU and how I was able to go and see some influential people speak, like the Dalai Lama, and Gorbachev was here, but I wasn't able to get a ticket. And through the Kelley School of Business too, seeing speakers and being inspired, you know, by them as a student.
Sure, and for non-golfers like myself, if I were there, we'd be yelling "for" every 5 minutes. But there's an after event that people can still be able to contribute and be part of this, right? Can you talk about that?
You know, we have some friends from the Upland Brewing Company, and you know, they heard about this and they wanted to be involved, and they're friends with Clayton Anderson, and he heard about it. He remembers going to see Maya Angelou when he was in school and remembering what an impact that made on him, and so they wanted to throw an event and be, you know, and help out, and it is wonderful because this is a chance for everyone to be involved. It's $10 for a ticket. There's actually going to be 3 performances. They're Terry Jo Box, Dana Christie, and Clayton Anderson are performing. But from 6 to 7 at Upland, there's going to be 5 of the PGA Tour pros. We have Jeff Overton, Sean McKeel, Steve Wheatcroft, Craig Bowden, and then my husband, Mark Wilson, who will be signing, taking pictures, talking from 6 to 7, and then all of the concert then after. So we'd love to see everyone come out. You can get tickets at Upland or Buzzkirk Chumley online or at the box office.
Great, and there's the information on the screen right now, Friday, September 9th at 9 a.m. and of course the after event at Upland Brewery.
Yes.
Thanks so much for being here today. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And we hope you'll also take time to visit our website, theweeklyspecial.org, for a look at what's coming up next time on the show and to see video from past episodes. You can also link to our Facebook page where you can connect with other fans of the Weekly Special and all of tonight's guests. And that will do it for tonight's episode. We'll leave you now tonight with more from the TOG Band. For Pam Thrash, I'm Joe Wren. Good night.
Underneath the pale moonlight, take a walk along the water's edge, passing that bottle of Johnny Walker Red. Spread a blanket out under the stars on the hood of your daddy's car. Stay out late and hope we have enough time to get you home before the sun comes up. Meet me down by the riverside, underneath the pale moonlight. Take a walk along the water's edge, passing that bottle of Johnny Walker Red. Meet me down by the riverside, underneath the pale moonlight. Take a walk along the water's edge, passing that bottle of Johnny Walker Red. Take a walk along the water's edge, passing that bottle of Johnny Walker Red.
Production support for the Weekly Special is provided by WTIU members. Thank you.